So late last night, I went to go see Captain Marvel. Now, was I blown away by it? No. Um, was it an exactly horrible movie? No. It was. I'm literally in the middle of it. I think a lot of the experience that I did like about it when it came to the seating. Last night, I finally got to try D-box seating, which is interactive seating for the movie to make you feel immersed. So it did feel good when the jet was going up and my seat kind of went back up a little bit. It was good when she got hit or he got hit. How the chair would like vibrate and shake in a certain way to make you feel like you're part of the fight. It wasn't that great when I was eating popcorn, unfortunately, and trying to drink my soda, which I probably got like 2 sips of, and I decided, you know what, it's better safe if I don't do that. But as far as the movie goes, as you see right here, I'm starting to create like a scoring system for me personally. I don't want to. This is my biased opinion. This is how I feel about movies. This doesn't overact how you should feel about a movie. You should go watch any movie you think is interesting. We all have different taste. This is just my personal scoring system for it, and I gave it a 6.5. And as you see here, one thing I don't like that other sites do is they'll give you like out of 10 or out of 5, but they won't tell you the criteria of what they base it on. And this, as you see, little by little, we're gonna go through it, and it's gonna be spoilers, obviously, as we go through it, so you can see what did I base it off. So let's start with the top. The director, Anna Bolden and Ryan Fleck, who both directed and wrote this movie. They directed and wrote other movies that I just didn't really care for, so maybe it's because of that I really was like with this movie. So I gave him a 0.5. By the way, the scoring system with this is either going to be none, half, or full. Full being the best you could do, half being like it was okay, and none being like I could pass on it. Now, I did put director and cinematographer into the same category. Cinematographer is the person who controls the camera. Director is the one that tells the cinematographer what to do. They need to have a good understanding of each other to come up with great films. Now, the cinematographer was Ben Davis, which he done Guardians of the Galaxy. He's done Doctor Strange. He did Avengers Age of Ultron. So I don't know what the hell was going on, but there was a lot of times that there was shaky cam, and I feel like John Wick kind of killed the shaky cam situation. You shouldn't be doing shaky cam no more. That's a thing of the past. Sometimes when executed right, it's good, but a lot of the scenes felt kind of okay. There weren't nothing amazing about them, so I gave that one a 0.5. Now, writer, again, this is Anna Bolden and Ryan Fleck. That one also was a 0.5. There was a lot of issues with the writing for me personally. Now, Captain Marvel in some of the comics is kind of a smartass, but the way they portrayed Brie Larson in this character is extremely weird. At one point he says, do you know what the welcoming committee or the welcome wagon is? And she goes, no, I don't understand that term. I don't understand terms or some shit like that. And then 5 minutes later, less than 5 minutes later, she goes, I didn't want to steal your thunder when he went through the whole fingerprint situation. It was very unmatchy in a sense. It was like, oh, she knows this, but she doesn't know this. Maybe she knows this because she was human, and there's certain things she kept and retained, and there were some things that she didn't retain. It doesn't explain that at all, so I didn't know. Coming from, I read a couple Captain Marvel comics. I'm not 100% like, oh, I know everything about it. It's not like Spider-Man. It's not like Batman for me, It's one of those things where I was like, oh, well, the movie's going to enlighten me, and maybe I'll go to a deep dive if I like the movie, Now, let's talk the lead. Brie Larson is an amazing actress. Brie Larson, fucking The Room, Kong Skull Island. My boy who I went with last night told me that she was in Trainwreck, and I went to go rewatch that this morning, and I was like, yeah, she was in Trainwreck as Kim. Brie Larson is an amazing actress, whatever you want to call them. Amazing actor that, oh my God, is terrific. But her portrayal as Carol Danvers is horrible. This is the only thing on the list that I gave a 0. I was tired out from Brie Larson within the first 10 minutes of the film. And I knew once she had the fight in the beginning where she screams at the other guy, when she was like, anyway, you know how to take these off? I was like, it's going to be her the whole movie. It's going to be a tiresome movie. It's going to be so boring. I think the only reason why I stood awake was my chair was vibrating and moving. She was awful as Karen Danvers. And that's okay for the reason being that, it doesn't affect her as an actor. I feel like you could be an amazing actor like George Clooney and do Batman. Sometimes it's just not, it's not for you. And, and sometimes you could be an amazing Batman in some of the wrong franchises. Ben Affleck. Shit like that happens. I feel like Brie Larson as Carol Danvers didn't hit. It didn't hit for me. It wasn't something where I was interested in. It wasn't like, like even in the trailers, I was like, it's okay. It's not. I didn't really want to see this movie right away, but then I kind of got like suckered into it. Like, maybe it will be good. The supporting cast was phenomenal. You have Jude Law, you have Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, who was funnier than Brie Larson, and they tried to make Brie Larson so funny, and it just wasn't hitting. The supporting cast kind of made it, but people like Minerva and Djimon Hansu, who was in almost every comic book movie kind of this year, kind of seemed like the dumbed down Drax. Like, they needed a Drax the Destroyer in this movie, and they were like, oh, we'll just make him like that. That's what I took away from the 3 scenes he had. Set wise, this is a full point. By the way, supporting was a full point too. Like, supporting cast was a full point, but set was also a full point. I think after Black Panther, they've been doing a very good job at making you feel part of this world. And when she was on a whole different planet, it felt amazing. Everything about it kind of like like the ship kind of goes in. My chair was doing the same thing. It felt like I was part of the ride, and it was very good. Wardrobe, on the other hand, is 0.5, half a real. If you're looking on the side, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like her suit looked like a very great Green Arrow suit for TV. The whole thing about it was very and then the whole change of color, which I like it when movies kind of like throw shit in there, and then you see that's how they got their design for it. Like for a good example, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Miles Morales always using the spray can, so you can see when he took his version of the suit, he was spray canned up, and it was like, all right, cool. We know that. Vision seeing Thor's cape and goes, all right, and gets a cape. Stuff like that I like, but her colors, the whole red, white, and blue, was painfully obvious throughout the movie. Painfully obvious on that little girl shirt. So she's like, "Oh, we're on the same team." I don't know, maybe it was just her portrayal of it. I didn't like the wardrobe, even to the end when she switched up the colors. It was a little decent. But overall, I think it was better when they were in their regular uniform. When she was in human clothing instead of her Kree outfit. So that I gave that one a 0.5. But as far as special effects go, a lot of practical effects when it comes to Coulson and Samuel L. Jackson. From what I could see, maybe there was a lot of digital effects. I couldn't tell. It was that good. I like the special effects. That one was a full point. Score and soundtrack. All right, this was another thing that was in your face. As far as the score goes, the score is no words, kind of like the orchestra behind it. The score was good. The score was at the right moments, everything it needed to be. Felt very Superman-y, especially her stance, how like she was like chest puffed up as she rolls up. I get it, women empowerment, but it was so in your face. Sometimes I was like, dial it down a little bit. Soundtrack. The songs they chose, a lot of women-heavy songs. Now, mind you, I love TLC. I love Salt and Pepper. I have a wide range of female artists that I listen to. But again, I think it was just so in your face with the dialogue that when the music came on, it felt like a watered down Guardians of the Galaxy. It kind of felt like Suicide Squad in that sense. Like, they were using music so much, and then for me, they were using music so much, and I was like, the dialogue's already doing the job. Sometimes when there's nothing talking, if you want to play like a certain song to kind of get the point. For example, Hi, My Name Is on the Shazam trailer. That has a lot to do with the trailer. That had a lot to do with this overall story of the actual movie. Now, this was just kind of like, hey, let's just take a bunch of female rockers and rappers and then throw them on this for that sake. And it didn't hit for me. And maybe it hit for you. It just didn't hit for me. So I gave it a 0.5. Would have gave it a full point just for the score alone. The score was pretty good. Now, overall, did it do its job? If it's a horror movie, did it make me scared? If it was a comedy movie, did it make me, laugh? For an action comic book movie, would it be something I see in theaters again? No. Is this something I would buy at a movie? Not really. If it's streaming on Netflix or on Disney Plus when it comes out, I might give it a watch again. It wasn't nothing impressive for me to say, yeah, you know what? This is it. This is something I need to have in my collection. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, when that drops, I'm picking up all different versions. It didn't hit. It wasn't for me. So overall, I gave it a 6.5. I feel like, again, this is my biased opinion. This isn't because, it's a female-led movie, and that's the case. I shouldn't have to justify myself in that sense. It just wasn't for me. This is my list and what I base my criticism on and criteria for. This you might watch this and love it, think it's a perfect film, and that's fine. There's people that think Godfather 3 is an amazing film. I'm not saying that it's as shitty as Godfather 3 neither. I'm just saying, for me, it wasn't anything that I was like, yeah, I like this. This is good. And I don't know. If you look at like, I don't judge Rotten Tomatoes. I think there was a lot of controversy behind this with the Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, I think, is at 82%, which is standing strong. Audience score is around like 32%, which is not so good. IMDb had theirs at 6.5. Again, I don't know what they based their criteria on, so therefore, I didn't take mine from them. I just happened to go through the list, create a rating system that I might base movies off of, and I came up with 6.5 as well. Now, is this film a really great Marvel movie for certain people? Sure, they're gonna resonate with it. Is it better than Doctor Strange? No. But is it as bad as Iron Man 3? No. I say it's somewhere in the middle. It kind of reminds me a lot of like Thor Part 1 in that sense. Maybe they have a tie for that middle spot of being an okay Marvel film. Is it considered a hit? Yeah, it's going to make money no matter what. We know any Marvel film that comes out is going to make money. Now let's talk the things that, more spoiler things. They switched up Chewie to Goose to make it feel more of a Top Gun type of vibe, which I got. It was heavy Top Gun inspired. And even with that being said, yeah, it wasn't anything where I was like, oh my god, this is, I like this. The switching of the name didn't bother me. I knew they were doing that from the beginning, so that's fine. Nick Fury's eye. Now, Nick Fury's eye, we knew this was gonna. I personally knew this was gonna. I felt like that was very predictable. I think it was the Han Solo effect. When they said they're doing a Solo movie, I was like, oh, we're gonna see how he met Chewbacca. We're gonna see the Tesseract run. We're gonna see him gamble away with Lando. I just knew they were gonna hit those marks of like you're gonna find everything you want to know about this character in this movie, instead of just kind of holding some stuff away. So I knew at one point his eye was gonna get fucked up, and then to find out it was from the cat that he kept and shit like that, I was like, all right, that's fine. In the beginning, they kind of let you know that he had a cat. He names a name that's not a dog's name. It was clearly a cat's name, so his infatuation is with cats. There were some things I didn't see something. The Skrulls being the good guys and shit like that. Like I said, I'm not huge into Captain Marvel, but that was a good surprise for me. I went into thinking one thing was gonna happen, and sure enough, good twist. That was something where I quite enjoyed, especially being a newbie. It's not something where I'm gonna deep dive into these comics, unfortunately. It was a good twist where it had me on my feet again to be like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't see this coming. Let's see what else is happening. A part I did like as well was the last fight with her and Jude Law. When, he takes away his powers and he's like, you know what? Fight me one-on-one. And then she just shoots him. And it's like, I don't have to prove nothing to you. I felt that was amazing. That was a strong sentence too. That was a good piece of dialogue. That was well written at that point. It was well executed. But as far as the rest of the dialogue and the acting in it, it was just, again, I feel like it's not what you want to do in the movie. You don't want to go into thinking like, oh, this is an okay movie. Especially for the price of tickets and everything else. I'm not trying to go see okay movies, and that's what I felt like I got away with. I got away with a pretty decent film, overall. But then again, like I said, my biased opinion. This is what I base my movies off of. So if you based it any differently, is there anything that you liked about the movie? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about it overall. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a good day, all right?